One. We're live.
All right, there we go.
I just shared it.
Did you? You want to share the link to this? Yeah, you'll have to share the link to my YouTube channel.
Nope, I just shared it on mine.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to give this just a moment. And then we'll get started. It's late. It's late. It's late.
It's not late.
A little late. Well, for the people on the East Coast, it's stupid late. For us, it's dumb early. John and I usually don't leave here till like midnight. Yeah, folks are here. Just give us a few minutes and we're going to get going. Ah, the UK. Yes. Yeah, QV's coming. This is first to kill time while we get ready. The QV engine is...
No, we have to make a statement with the 1.4.
We're definitely making a statement with the 1.4. Australia. All right, while we're waiting, funny story about Australia. I live in British Columbia, and I moved there 10 years ago. And I had this idea that I was going to go live in BC for a year, and then I was going to go to Australia for a couple of years until I had to leave. I really wanted to go to Australia. Problem being, I ended up getting a job that I really liked, working with special needs kids, and I just ended up staying. So I never got to go to Australia, and I still haven't gone. It's the worst thing in the world. So at some point, I got to get to Australia. Hey, Pete. Oh, super excited. Actually, here, while we're waiting for people to show up.
Did you tell people we're going live?
Oh, yeah. No, it's also late. Here she is. For now, we have a hood exit exhaust just to kind of get things going. Should be entertaining. It's a couple more minutes. I'm going to go let the internet know really quickly what we're doing. And yeah, then we can get started. What we're doing. John, what are we doing?
Oh, good Lord. We're testing and prototyping everything. And making sure that we have got. And this is just coming together well. So we got cooling system prep, we got oil in the engine, we've got cooling in the brakes, something, I don't know.
Coolant in the brakes?
Cooling in the brakes.
You did almost put coolant in my oil.
I know.
I distracted you. Totally my fault. I did catch him. I stopped him before he did it.
No, all I wanted to do was make it work.
Yes.
Come on.
So we've primed the turbo already before getting started, just so you know. So yeah, and we've primed the Maltier as well. So I didn't want to sit here and risk this thing not running. So we've primed those few things. And I'm Dyna's here at start. Oh, good Lord. Okay. No. I want to hear the thing actually start, Johnny boy. All right. More stuff for internet. Huh? Yeah, you're probably afraid because I've made a mess with them the few times I've had to touch them. Not that I touch them very often.
Just know I literally haven't had the time to do it.
True.
Other than work and then bath and then work and bath.
John's had me in his hair for basically the last 2 weeks. So I've been here except for, what, 3 days? I had meetings back in Vancouver. So I had to go, do the thing that allows me to pay for this stuff. And then I had to get my ass back down here. And yeah, so for the most part, though, I've been here for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you're going to leave for 3 days and come back for another week.
Yeah, so even after this starts, we're going to do some dyno work tomorrow, get a bass tune on it, but ultimately it's not going to be tuned until we've got a bit of break-in time. Now, there will be we're going to break it in on the dyno a bit, but ultimately want to get some road time. But, yeah.
You still have fuel pump, injectors. Oh,
E85? I put E85 in all my cars. Everyone knows I'm going to do E85.
No, but
I love E85.
You gotta keep that on DL, man. DL, sure.
Oh, they'd like it right now. There's no blow-off valve. In fact, there's not even we're still using the stock airbox right now. Like the intake that was on the last turbo, this fits so well that the intake from the last turbo worked. Slightly different downpipe. The oil lines, you had to... One line had to be modified, and then an ATP line at the top. But this turbo bolts in extremely well. You know, if you got the internals to support it.
Drag it over
I did. I guess we'll bring it back. All right, here. Take a closer look.
there. Look at the airbox clearance, coolant line clearance. We use factory hose here. With the only aftermarket line is the feed line, simply because we needed the 90. We could have probably gotten away with the factory line. The factory coolant line that goes down, we use both factory coolant lines, modified the oil return line, and had to do a small modification on the factory coolant line. It goes back to the reservoir, but other than that, it even clears the hood.
Yeah. Well, except for the hood X exhaust at the moment. But yeah.
What?
All right.
You're gonna turn your back and you're gonna hear ring.
Okay, so you want to try and start it? The rest of the world can watch it in the morning because it is late for most folks, except for those fine folks in the UK and Australia and Europe.
How many folks do we have watching right
They got 11 people so far.
now? 11 people?
Yeah.
How many people want us to start? I mean, are they actually watching?
They're the ones that are here. I'm happy to start the car for them. That's good enough.
Let's start it.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to start the car so y'all can see this. Yeah.
Did you cross your fingers?
On the toes?
Did you lock your ring yet?
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Hands running. They run a bit crappy on first startup. Firing. Oh, yep. You move the screen up. Whew. I'll set your laptop on the floor. Woo! So when you start it, pop the brake, you just go right to the rev limiter. And 3, 2, fire. Ask a question.
I'm pretty sure Peter's the guy that has his 124 on E85. I think. If I remember right. Yeah, so it's loud. It's really, really loud right now just because it's hood exit, but it's running and it looks like priming the multi-air worked. Oh shit, it has to be sport mode. Okay, John's gonna do a bit of pops and bangs. Probably a bad idea. Okay, so yeah, it's working. That's a good question. I'm really not sure. Hey, John, question for you.
Does John purge weld his dump pipes? On this one, no. This was a development. We've got our, so this one we went through and put together really quick so we can build a jig. We're going to set up a jig for. We already built the jig for the turbo manifold. So now we're going to build a jig for the downpipe. And once we have the jig done, then we'll be doing purge welding and TIG welding on both inside outside. And then we'll probably even take a look at maybe titanium. Not sure. Gotta see what people want. If people want the kit.
Fair enough. John jigged up the manifold, so if someone wants the same manifold, it'll work. But yeah, it sounds really good. I want to hear it with the exhaust connected. So left the Goodwin exhaust in place. Tomorrow, a downpipe's going to get made that goes down and finishes connecting to the rest of the exhaust. It has the factory intercooler pipes on it right now. They all fit, but tomorrow it's getting a hard pipe kit. Going to go to 2.5-inch pipes. For those of you that don't actually know what's in the car, it has CP pistons that are 10-to-1 compression, Carrillo rods. The oil squirters have been deleted because we don't need them on these pistons. It has a South Bend clutch, Garrett G25 550. What else? Ported and polished head. It's got a bunch of stuff. We're going to put a blow-off valve on it tomorrow. There's no blow-off valve on it yet. Got another forged solenoid that we're going to attach to it, and then probably another Turbo Smart blow-off valve. I think we're going to end up mounting it in the bumper, but yeah, it's running. I get to drive it home this weekend. I'm super stoked. Yeah, Nate, it runs, man. Oh, yeah. It's full rods and pistons, man. Like, this was not a basic build. The bottom end on this thing should be good for about 500. So we've got clearance. I'm not saying it's going to be able to hit 500, but the bottom end should be okay for it. Like, if the head and it had enough turbo, which it does have enough turbo, yeah, that's what the bottom end should be capable of. However, 500 is... In order to go to 500, I think I'd have to spend more money. And the reality is, this was done on the quick to be able to hit a high number just to kill time before doing the QV. Doing 2 relatively high-dollar engine swaps is just... I had to cut it somewhere, right? But that's okay. Oh, that's nasty. Did you? Yeah, this should be entertaining. Yeah, it's going to be extremely mad, man. I'm looking forward to just having a built engine in one of these cars with a big turbo. I put a bigger turbo on every single one of the Fiats with John's help, and I've never had a built engine. I really wanted a built block so we could safely push past that 250 mark or 272, whatever, with the 85. Really, anything below 300 is boring at this point for this car. I need this thing to be somewhere beyond that. Not to say anything less is boring. Like, to be honest, 240, 250 is pretty much perfect in a multi-air Fiat. So yeah, don't be afraid of hanging around that power level. In fact, I'd encourage people to try that power level first before pushing your super far. But if you're experienced with this kind of stuff, just go balls out, please. Microphone says no! Can anyone hear me? Can you guys actually hear me? I'll take that as a yes. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you're just joining us, it's up and running. John's just checking over. Oh, it's what, filled? Okay. All right. So yeah, it looks good. No fluids are coming out of it. Thought there was something going on initially, but John spilled a bit of oil when he was filling up the engine. But no, it seems to be running just fine. I can't wait to drive the thing. I haven't been able to drive this car in a while. If you guys watched the last video, I had to trailer it down here. It's, yeah. What? Nate wanted you to get a head rub. Circle. Circle. Can you pat your head and rub your tummy? Oh, that's not bad. So yeah, either way, we're driving it tomorrow. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions about this thing? You've seen it running. I'm just stoked to be able to drive the thing. We're going to start off and break it in around 300. In total, just the parts alone, it's about 10,000. With labor and everything, it depends. I'm thinking I'd have to guess. John and I were talking about it with labor. If I didn't have John as a best friend, Probably 5 or 6K or a bit more, depends. Yeah, so excited. Yeah, Nate, Nate would actually know. Nate did work with John, so he's probably right. Hold on, I have to do something. Hug your car. Some people hug trees. I'll hug my car. Who's that? But yeah. You know, it's this kind of build. If you don't want to go big, you know, it's not the way to go. If you want that 250 horsepower build, you know, there's a lot of ways to go about that. And it's a really safe power level to hang around at. You'd have to have a pretty bad tune for it to blow something up around there. As long as you have a good clean tune, these things will hang out around 240, 250 all day long. But just you have to have a good tune. Absolutely. You've all seen my tree shirt. I think you all seen my tree shirt. Not a fan of that tree. That tree sucks. It's been, this is the first time that I'm pretty sure that I have a faster car than that black 124. It's been such a hard year. Not really hard, but it's been a frustrating year not having a car that was able to do what the black one did. But yeah. Okay. That's what I wanted to show you, folks. It's up and running. So I'm going to leave it here. Video on Friday with everything you want to see, including some dyno time, and we're going to get some road running in. Yeah, it's going to be so good. Just so you know, I've already talked to my buddy Marcus at Roads Untraveled. So when it's all said and done, Marcus is going to take the car and give it a full proper review so you folks can see something that isn't me messing around with the car. If you don't know who Marcus is, Roads Untraveled, go check him out. The guy's reviewed all of my cars. And he does great reviews. Roads Untraveled on YouTube, folks. All right. Yeah. So excited. Thank you for watching it start up. I will catch y'all on Friday.